I got some new games. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, get new games. The kids show you can wait.
Hey everybody, Jim here with another pickups video. And I actually haven't done one of these in about 6 months, I think. Or maybe not quite that long. The last time I did one was Carcamo had sent me a package in the mail. So maybe like 5 to 6 months since I've done a pickups video. Haven't really been buying very many games in that time span, just because I don't know, I guess I've been being a little extra frugal these past several months, just anticipating December and Christmas purchases and stuff like that. But I did pick up some very good games. Not a whole lot, but ones that I'm really happy to have. And some really good import stuff, Japan-only stuff. So let's get started, take a look at some of these pickups I got recently. Alright, so I got some Nintendo stuff here. I got one GameCube game and then a nice stack of games for the Famicom. The one GameCube game I've got, the Japanese title is Groove Adventure Rave, I guess, and Fighting Rave. So there you go. I believe in the US this game is called Rave Master or something to that effect. I'm pretty sure it's based on an anime. It's made by Konami. This game is more or less just like Power Stone from what I've played of it. I haven't spent a lot of time playing this game, but it's very, very akin to Power Stone. I'm not familiar with this anime or manga, so I don't know much about the story, the characters, any of that. But yeah, if you're, I guess, collecting games for the GameCube, Rave Master, as it's known in the States, or Groove Adventure Rave here, it's pretty fun, but again, it's more or less just like a Power Stone clone from what I've played. But yeah, it's not bad, and I think it was maybe like a couple of bucks, like maybe $5. So yeah, Groove Adventure Rave, fairly happy with that. Okay, got some loose Famicom games here. 2 Capcom and 2 Konami games, because spoilers, I'm working on some top 10s for 8-bit games, 8-bit Konami and 8-bit Capcom, so I wanted to go and grab some 8-bit games from their libraries that I hadn't played in a long time, just to see, if I would include them on said lists. They're some pretty decent games as well. This one, Dead Fox, as it's known here, I believe in the States this is codename Viper or something to that. I think it's codename Viper. Fun game, plays a lot like Rolling Thunder, except you have to rescue people in the levels and be given a bomb by one. I think there's only one person you have to rescue, and he's like somebody like a POW or a scientist or something, and he'll give you a bomb that you need to blow up a door at the end of the stage to move on. But there are other characters in each stage that you can rescue for more points, I think. I'm pretty sure you don't have to rescue everybody. But yeah, Dead Fox, which is kind of a weird name, or codename Viper. This is actually a really good game. I like this one a lot. You might see this in a video sometime soon. This game possibly as well. This is a older Capcom game from '86. The kanji for the Japanese title I'm not even gonna bother with because I don't want to butcher the pronunciation. But in the States, I believe this game is known as Trojan. And when I started playing this game, I was immediately reminded of the first couple of Fist of the North Star games for the Famicom. Basically just side-scrolling action games. Just as people appear on screen, you kill them. You have your like sword and shield. It's cool. It's like the setting is like a post-apocalyptic kind of a Fist of the North Star type setting, but you've got like a sword and shield. And you can like block projectiles and obviously kill people with your sword. You can lose your sword and shield and become vulnerable. but you can get it back. And then there are like boss fights, and the boss fights are kind of tricky, kind of a difficult game. But Trojan, 1986 Capcom release. This pretty cool game as well. These next 3 games are all Konami games. Again, you might see these in a video at some point. First up, Gambari Goemon 2, which I don't think this got a US release. I don't think any of the 8-bit Goemon or Mystical Ninja games got US releases. Fun game. Action title. I don't want to call it a beat 'em up because it's not really. It's just, you explore the levels, you find items, and find and defeat boss characters before you can move on to the new one. So each level is kind of like a little maze, and it's fun. You got Goemon, and you got his friend whose name escapes me. I remember the English names, Kid. Is it Kid Ying and Dr. Yang, or is it vice versa, Dr. Ying, Kid Yang? Anyway, Gambari Goemon 2. This is a really fun game. The Mystical Ninja games in general are really fun, so I like this one a lot. Again, one you might see in a video at some point. And here we have Twinbee 3. I don't know which of the Twinbee games, the 8-bit Twinbee games, was released internationally as Stinger, I think, in the States, and maybe like Bells and Whistles in Europe. Not 100% sure. Anyway, the Twinbee games, the 8-bit ones are fun enough. I guess I kind of spoiled. I've played a lot of Twinbee on like PC Engine and like Sega Saturn, and so my experience with Twinbee has always been like, with those level of games where it's like just drenched in pastel colors. It's like beautiful and beautiful soundtracks and stuff. This, obviously, 8-bit game. It's a step down from those, but it's still a lot of fun. 8-bit Twinbee is still good. Twinbee in general is just always going to be good. Twinbee 3, very cool. All right, 2 boxed games. This one, I've never played the US counterpart. The American version of this is Bayou Billy. Here in Japan, it's called Mad City. Now, I've heard that when this was ported over as Bayou Billy, the difficulty was increased quite a lot, and it makes the game almost unplayable. So I've heard. I've never played it myself. Mad City, on the other hand, I've played quite a bit of this. I have not beaten it yet. It is still a pretty tough game. But it's fun. I really like this game, actually. I like the beat 'em up segments. They're fun, and they control pretty well. It's not necessarily on the level of Double Dragon, but it is still pretty good. I like the beat 'em up segments. The shooting segments, which are really just like the shooting segments on Golgo 13. You got your crosshairs on the screen, and you shoot a bunch of enemies, and it's fun. And then there are car chase levels where I want to say it's almost kind of like a Chase HQ or something to that effect. You drive down the road and you shoot your guns and try to, blow up the enemy cars while dodging planes flying and drop shit on the road, and you have to like move out of the way and avoid rocks and stuff. Anyway, like I said, I've never played Bayou Billy. I can't say how good or bad that game is, but Mad City, I like this game quite a lot, actually, and really happy with this purchase. And I got the box manual, everything in good condition. Mad City, if you've played and didn't like Bayou Billy, maybe consider playing the Famicom version. From what I can tell, it's a much better version of that game. And this last Famicom pickup, this game was released this year, actually. It was released in October. I think October 6th was the release date. It's developed by a company called Riki, and the Columbus Circle published it. This game is called Kira Kira Star Knight DX. This game is awesome. I'm pretty sure there was an original Star Knight that came out, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. This version, I think the main changes were to the music. The music in this game is fantastic. It's some of the best 8-bit music like I've ever heard in my entire life. It's apparent that the people who made this are really, really into making chiptune music, and it shows because each stage in this game there's a normal level, a normal difficulty, and a hard difficulty, and for each difficulty, each stage, there are 8 stages in total, I think. Each stage has a different song to it. So in total, there's like 16, 17 songs on this game, which is a very simple game. You just walk. I'll show you the screenshots here. You just walk from left to right as the screen scrolls, and little collections of stars appear on the screen, and all you've got to do is collect the stars. You collect enough stars to move on to the next stage, and it starts out very simply. And when I first started playing it, I was like, wow, this is like, it's a beautiful game. The graphics are amazing, super colorful, and the soundtrack was just, really blowing me away, like right from the first song. But I was like, wow, this is like a really simple game. It seems like it's going to be kind of boring. As the stages progress, it gets harder. The patterns of the stars become like very erratic, and it gets more difficult. And the final stage of the normal mode, you may well, like, my first time I couldn't finish it. I finished it later. And then the hard difficulty is a lot trickier. You have to collect a lot more stars, and again, they move in much more crazy erratic patterns. So it's not as easy as it seems at first glance. Anyway, Kira Kira Star Knight DX just released in October. I think if you look online, you can probably find this game brand new for like $30. I'd say just for the experience of getting a brand new Famicom game with the graphics and sound that this has, and it's fun. It is a pretty damn addictive game. You can play through just over and over again, trying to beat your high score, and by beating each mode, you unlock debug menus where you can listen to all the soundtrack and give yourself like more continues and change certain things about the gameplay. So Kira Kira Star Knight DX for the Famicom, really great game. I'd highly recommend playing this for 8-bit fans, especially if you're a fan of like really good chiptune music. You're gonna love this game, Kira Kira Star Knight DX. Play it, and that's all the Nintendo stuff I've picked up recently. Okay, so Sega Saturn. I have 3 games here, but it's really only 2. But really good stuff, and well, I'll start with these. Picked up another copy of Nights into Dreams, which I had previously, but I think I sold it along with this while I was in Texas last time, Christmas Nights. I picked these up because actually Nights into Dreams is one of my favorite Saturn games. It's great. It's, you can say it's a pretty easy game. It's not impossible to lose at. I mean, but you can really only lose to the boss battles. But just the visuals, the sound design, the gameplay, everything about Nights into Dreams I love. So it's one of my favorite Saturn games, and I found this. It was like $5, and then they wanted like $2 for Christmas Nights, and I went ahead and picked them up because again, another spoiler. I want to have a review of these out by Christmas, because like I said, I do love Nights into Dreams, and the Christmas Nights is just, it's only like one level in boss battle, and then there's some like mini games and stuff, but it's just something, it's really awesome to play around Christmas time. So I'd like to have a review of these 2 games, just put them together into a single review and have that out by Christmas. But yes, Nights into Dreams and Christmas Nights, really cool. And then this game, I had heard about this not too long ago. I'm a big shooter fan, most people know that, but this one that's kind of under the radar for a lot of people, it's called Sokyu Gurentai, and it's made by Aiding and Rising, who made quite, I don't know if developed by Aiding or by Rising, or if they're like, because this one's published by Electronic Arts of all people, but it's got elements of other shooters, I want to say. There's definitely a Dodonpachi kind of feel to it going on. It's like a Maniac style shooter, but you also have a very, I want to say like layer section or galactic attack kind of attack going, where you can lock onto enemies and shoot lasers, and each of the 3 selectable ships has like a different area of effect. But it's just Sokyu Gurentai. Picked it up I want to say like a week or 2 ago. Been playing it like crazy. It's a lot of fun. Great shooter on the Saturn. Definitely, people think of Saturn, they think of Donpachi, Galactic Attack, or maybe like Radiant Silvergun or something. Sokyu Gurentai doesn't come up a whole lot, but it should. Really great shooter. I'm really happy that I picked this one up. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend playing it if you get the chance. Sokyu Gurentai, really cool. And those are the only Saturn games I picked up recently, but definitely some good ones that I've been having a lot of fun with. Okay, time for kind of the main course of this pickups video, Dreamcast pickups. I picked up a handful of really awesome Dreamcast games, and they're all shooters, which is always good. Dreamcast does that very well. I'm going to start with these 2 games, actually. They're both from NG Dev Team, who has been putting out a lot of really cool games for the Dreamcast in the past years. This one, I think, came out in, I want to say these came out in like 2010, maybe more recently. Anyway, NG Dev Team from Germany, I do believe. I picked up Last Hope, Pink Bullets, which this game, I want to say it's very reminiscent of Last Resort on the Neo Geo. You have kind of like this orb that goes, it follows your ship, and you can kind of control its rotation, and the orb can like block incoming bullets and even collect those bullets to help you power up your ship, and it can fire in all directions, and so it has a lot in common with Last Resort, and also something it has in common with Last Resort. This is a very challenging shooter, but it is extremely fun. The graphics are great, and the soundtrack is outstanding. NG Dev Team games, they always put really excellent soundtracks in there, and I've really been enjoying this one. Last Hope, Pink Bullets, very cool. And then I picked up this one with it. It's Fast Striker. Fast Striker. Last Hope is a side-scrolling shooter that pays more of an homage to older shoot-em-ups like Last Resort, or maybe something like R-Type or Gradius, something to that effect. This one, definitely going more with the Maniac or Bullet Hell style shoot-em-ups. Very fast-paced game. Lots of cool power-ups and things like that. Tons of bullets on screen at any one time, and graphics are good. They're not great, like they didn't blow me away. They're well done, but the most colorful thing is obviously going to be the bullets. They kind of stand out against a more drab background. The soundtrack in this game is just like fantastic. It's all this like really upbeat, super speedy, techno music that matches a spaceship shooter really well, as it turns out. So Fast Striker and Last Hope, Pink Bullets, these are 2 really excellent games for the Dreamcast. If you're someone who likes collecting for the Dreamcast, or just playing Dreamcast games, look into these NG Dev Team games, because Last Hope and Fast Striker, and I think there's Gunlord, and then there's another one, I think it's called like Neo XYX or something. They're putting out some really cool stuff. Look into NG Dev Team. Maybe go check out their website. Their games are awesome. Now, finally, picked up a game developed by Psycho and published by Capcom. So the same team that brought us Gunbird 2, which is awesome. In the States, this is known as Cannon Spike. Here, it's referred to as Gunspike. This is a game where you take control of an individual on... They can either be on like powered rocket skates, or in the case of like Baby Bonnet Hood from Darkstalkers, who is in this game, along with like Cammy and Charlie from Street Fighter, and even Mega Man is in this game, which is awesome. But you zip around on rocket skates or a scooter, or some kind of like hover snowboard or something like that. You go around each stage. They're basically, you're put in like just kind of like one big open area, and enemies come in, and you can maneuver all around, full range of motion, and you just shoot and kill, blow up everything that comes onto the stage, and then you move on to a boss battle. Every character has like multiple attack styles. You have your basic shot, you have a power shot, you have a bomb, which is different for every character. For instance, Charlie from Street Fighter, he can do his somersault kick, and he can do his Sonic Blitz attack. Cammy can do her cannon spike, and then throw a whole bunch of like grenades and stuff. So it's very cool, very fun game, decent graphics, sound design, and some of the visuals are obviously inspired by movies. So there's one stage that's like kind of in a mine or something to that effect. There's like mine carts going around, and the music is obviously a reference to Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. And there's a boss battle in here, which is it's supposed to be reminiscent of Gozer from Ghostbusters. There's like two like dog cat things on either side, and like a gate opens up, and the woman, it comes out, and it looks just like the ending scenes from Ghostbusters. But anyway, Gunspike, aka Cannon Spike, very fun, action-packed, awesome game by Psycho and Capcom. If you can play it, I don't know how much it goes for these days. In Japan, it's kind of expensive. It's more like it's like a $60 game almost. But I don't know if that's how much Cannon Spike goes for. I don't know. You tell me if you're collecting Dreamcast games in the States. Anyway, I'm rambling. Gunspike, aka Cannon Spike, great game. Really happy to have it. And I have two more games that were released well after the Dreamcast was dead. As we all know, the Dreamcast is just never dead. It can't die. People just keep making games for it. First game by Milestone. Milestone made Rattergy and Chaos Field, both of which I've reviewed. So I finally picked up Karos, or Karasu. The Japanese says Karasu, but the English says Karos. So I'll just say Karos. Excellent game. Looks, sounds, and plays a lot like Rattergy. You have your main shot, you have your sword to clear, bullets from the screen. If you stop shooting, you have a shield that you can hold in front of you that absorbs bullets. And your bomb isn't really like a bomb. It's like your ship is like surrounded by like a red brain thing that deflects all bullets and causes damage to whatever you touch. So it's pretty cool. But Karos, challenging, fun, great graphics, same like cell shading look that Rattergy has. Good soundtrack, kind of a more subdued soundtrack, again like Rattergy. It's not like a high energy soundtrack, but it's still good, and gameplay is excellent. This one, another game, I think this can be found for maybe like $40 to $50 online. It's really good. If you're a fan of Dreamcast shooters, you might want to look into it. Kados by Milestone, excellent game. And then finally, by G-Rev, I've been having so much fun with this game. Another one that was released, I want to say, 2005. This one was released. This is Under Defeat. This game is, I think it's amazing. It's great. It's a helicopter. It's top down, but it has kind of a slightly isometric view, and at first glance, it kind of looks like Zero Gunner, but whereas in Zero Gunner, you can move your helicopter in a full 360 degree range of motion. You can't here. You can like tilt back and forth to face this way or that way or in the middle, and the screen will move sometimes, like especially during boss battles. They'll move to different angles, and it's better to shoot this way or that way or some. But great game, really fun, challenging, great graphics, great sound design, and then I'll just say, as far as explosions go, this game has probably the best explosions like I've ever seen in a shoot 'em up. They're really terrific. Everything blows up in a huge cloud of smoke and fire, and your bomb is not just a bomb; it's an entire carpet bombing. The entire screen gets lit up. Everything gets blown to hell and back. Under Defeat. This is a really great game. Again, this one in the $50 to $60 range these days, I think. Again, if you are a fan of Dreamcast shooters, if you've played like Giga Wing or Gunbird or maybe Ikaruga or something to that effect, play Under Defeat. I know this was released for some other consoles as well, possibly the PS2 or PS3, I'm not exactly sure, but whatever way you can, if you're a shooter fan, play Under Defeat. It is excellent. Love this game, and that's it. Those are all the games I've picked up recently in the past, several months. So not that many games, but I can honestly say every game that I've picked up in that time I've enjoyed. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy when I can go out and buy just nothing but good games, no shelf padding. That makes me happy. I gotta knock out all that buying games just for the sake of buying games. I don't have that much expendable income anymore. I'm a poor student yet again. So when I do buy games, I try to make sure that I'm picking up stuff that I'm gonna want to play. And definitely, in the case of these games and those Saturn games and Famicom games, these are games that I've been playing through, or at least attempting to play through over and over again, just because I'm really enjoying them. They're a lot of fun. All of those shooters I mentioned today, I recommend all of them. They're great. And Star Knight too. Kira Kira Star Knight. Can't recommend that enough. It's excellent. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Please do, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Jim signing off. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.